have all these adjacent possibilities that are coming through, that are being presented right now. Like, it's literally this plane of existence that we're on right now wants to limit you so tremendously bad because they're afraid of you and your potential. How do love warriors fight back? We fight back by putting it in their faces that we are literally creator beings, that we are freaking powerful, and we are here to make massive change on this planet. And that is literally what we're doing every time we decide to face our fears and go towards something that raises our vibration. Anything that sparks our interest, that we step over that threshold of fear and we decide to go for it and do it, you're breaking the matrix. You're breaking that system of control. So instead of thinking that you're limited to maybe 1 or 2 decisions or even 500 decisions, you're an infinite soul. You can do everything and more. Our DNA is coming online so incredibly immensely that it's to the point that even if they want to control it, they can't. There's nothing they can control here because they lack the capabilities that we do. It's in our DNA. I love you too. They want access to our DNA. Even if they have access to our DNA, there's things inscribed in our DNA and within our soul that they cannot access. They cannot partake in. They cannot even control. It's funny that we even have control systems here because they're illusory. No one can control you. Why? Because your soul is limitless and it cannot be controlled. It can be on this materialistic realm, your physical body. Yeah, it can be physically here, but your soul lives on forever and ever and ever. So even if they wanted to, let's say, kill you, your soul's going to go on for eternity. It's going to go on for infinity. And the fact that your soul is infinite, and the fact that we limit anything and the fact that we let anyone or anything control us is the most absurd thing that I've ever heard in my entire existence thus far. Which is why I'm here. I'm here to literally break every single system and every single perspective and every single structure by doing the opposite of whatever it is that they want us to do. I'm very rebellious by nature. If you're an indigo, you probably have this within your blood. You probably have this boiling within you. You probably have this wanting and needing to go out and do so many different things because that's what your soul is. Your soul is that expansive. So I know we have fear and we have this and we have that because it's been programmed and ingrained in us. It's been passed down from generation to generation through our parents throughout childhood, when you're a child, you're the most impressionable. Your mind absorbs things like a sponge. That's why I think the language thing was just presented to me this morning. I was teaching my daughter how to count from 1 to 10 in 5 different languages because I know how to count to 10 in 5 or 6 different languages. But I also know that it's more than just the language. Obviously, telepathy is what we actually communicated with before we even came down here, and light language is simply just the bridge to that. But pretty soon it is just going to be telepathy. No one can control you. Nobody can. And though we're working through these paradigms and systems of control, it's to expand us. It's to learn, it's to grow, it's to expand our souls, but we're also here to literally bust that system and prove them wrong. So why the language thing came through is because I was getting to something there. If it comes back, I'll talk about it. I can't remember now. I was getting really, really passionate into what I was talking about. Something about the language. The language. I don't know. Something about the language. I'm sure if it's meant to come through, it will. But basically, there's so many different routes and avenues and things that we can go down. And there's these programs. Oh, when you're a kid, your mind absorbs things like a sponge, which is why they say to teach different languages when your child is young, because they absorb it like a sponge and your mind is most impressionable. So when this programming is coming through as a child, It's most impressionable. So it sticks with you until you learn how to decode it out of that DNA structure that is so immense and massive and powerful that you realize it doesn't belong there anymore. It doesn't belong in your frequency anymore. It doesn't belong in your mentality anymore. And even though it's constantly bombarded upon us through the media and everything, it's because they want to control you. But you're not here to be controlled. You're not here to fucking be controlled. You're not here to do anything that anyone tells you to do. You're here to pave your own path. You're here to bring about new fucking earth. You're here to be the Neo in the Matrix. The one. The ones. We are all the ones because we're all connected. Our DNA is so powerful. Our light is so bright and so powerful. Our love is so powerful, expansive, and immense, and vibrates so high frequency that they want to downgrade you and keep you from being your ultimate being. They can't. We're waking up. This is the Great Awakening. This is why we came back here at this time. If you feel like you're back here from the future, it's because you probably are. And you know, outside of this dimension, and when you go and you're channeling into higher dimensions, there isn't even such a thing as time, because time is just another form of control. It's a form of limiting. Any system is Satan. And there isn't even really a Satan, but it's just a lower frequency energy. Any system at all, any system on this plane of existence that is wanting to control you is the lower frequencies at work. Because your soul cannot be controlled, which is why they're so desperate to control you. Because they're afraid that once our DNA gets ignited by the sun, which it's happening right now, and I might look like a Looney Tune to a lot of you, but I really just don't give a fuck, because I know this within my soul and every essence and in my bones and every essence of my being, that we're literally here to bring about this change on the planet. And I really just don't care anymore, because I care about us more. So we're really like stepping into our power. We're letting go of fears. I wasn't expecting all of this to come through either. Like I wasn't even expecting all of this to be talked about or spoken about when I jumped on the live. Like I wasn't expecting to go into this huge rant tangent. So just go with the flow of it and trusting it. But we're literally here to step into our power, to embark upon our power, to show the world what we're made of, to show everyone what we're here to do and why we came here. Is to literally show everyone that we're all equal. We're all love. We're all unconditional love. There is no control. Control is an illusion. It's false. It exists here, but it doesn't exist in heaven. It doesn't exist outside of here. But we learn through it, and we transmute it, and then we ascend. Consciousness. Our consciousness is expanding at a level that's basically at the speed of light. There's no stopping us now. There's no stopping us. There's no stopping us. The only person stopping you is you. And even that's an illusion. So we're really learning like all these freaking adjacent possibilities that we can do, that we can explore, that we can dive into, that we can express. Because that's what we're here to do as creators. We're here to express ourselves and to show other people that it's safe for them to do the same. And to step into their power and to shine their light and to show their love to the world that needs it ever so desperately right now. We are the ones who are embarking upon this. We are the pioneers for this. This is why we feel it so immensely. And we all have our different levels and jobs and like what we do while we're here. And there's no reason to guilt someone or make someone feel bad because they're not stepping into their power. They're already powerful. You just being here right now in your presence, in your being, in a soul, like a soul in a body. Like think about how freaking miraculous that is. Like, how crazy is that? Your soul is freaking infinite and you're literally being boxed in fucking muscles and cells and tissues, and you're etheric, you're spirit, you're higher dimensions, you're the universe, you're all encompassing. You are the alpha, you are the omega, you're everything. You are literally everything. We are waking the F up. We are waking the F up. And yes, sure, we'll look crazy to some people, but we're here to plant those seeds so that way they can realize it for themselves. So that way they can be, rest assured in knowing what they're here to do and that it's okay and that everything's going to be fine because we're ascending. And we're having that knowing. We're having that knowing. That knowing is everything. That remembering is everything. Coming back to who we actually are is everything. So now when you think about it and you're like, oh, I want to do this, I want to do that, but I'm too scared. I'm too scared what other people will think of me. I'm too scared of what that person will say about me. I'm too scared to do it. Why? Your soul outside of here does everything. And you're here to anchor that down here to do it right now. If your soul is infinite, why are you afraid to be infinite? When that's who you are and what you are. So think about it now. And when you think of adjacent possibilities and that thing that you want to do so bad that everyone's telling you that you can't do it because they're projecting their own fears onto you, prove them wrong. Prove them wrong and do it anyway. Literally do not care and do it because that's why you're here. That is why you're freaking here. Don't pay attention to the illusions outside of you. They need not attention. What needs attention is you. Give yourself that. Give yourself that. You deserve that. And do some things that are different. Put yourself out there. Expand your consciousness. Expand your thoughts. Even if, let's say, quote unquote, you're in lockdown, which is just another false sense of control because they're scared. Think about it this way. Why would any person or any being need to control someone so incredibly bad? Why? Ask yourself, why? Why? What's the reasoning? Because they're scared. They're scared. They're scared of you. Why? Because you're a creator in a freaking human body. Because you're an infinite soul in a freaking human body. I don't feel the need to control anyone. I don't. And if I ever did, it's because I had that programming placed upon me. Think back to who you were before you incarnated here. What were you? You were purity. You were love. You were vibration. You were light. You could have been whatever the F you wanted to be because you're an infinite soul. You could have been a freaking gigantic balloon that flowed into the universe. Like, you can be whatever you want because that's what you are. That's what you are. Think about who you were before you were here. And that is the purest version of you. And anything else that's residing in your field that's making you think, feel a certain way to where you're feeling limited and controlled is just an illusion. And it might have been just the illusion that you wanted when you incarnated here so that you learned how to overcome it. So you could be the biggest, grandest master that you could have ever been within any lifetime. Because you learned it all. And then you mastered it. And then you transmuted it. And then you ascended it. And then you taught others how to do the same. So just a different way of thinking about things. But why would anyone need to control anyone? It's because they're scared. And there's no need to be scared. That's so like 500 million years ago. Sorry, but I get really heated about these things. And passionate and excited. So yeah, expand yourself into different things that you want to do because why the F not? That's what you're here to do. You're here to express yourself. You're here to shine, babies. Yeah, don't pay attention to lower frequencies. They're just after your energy. Don't give them that gratification. The garden and the gate. The garden and the gate.